Today we are setting sail on a voyage through history as we explore the legacy of Norwegian Cruise Line. Ahoy travelers, it's Amy here with another look into the history of cruising. It should be of no surprise that Norwegian Cruise Line began in Norway, but there is more to the line's history than that little nugget of information. Founded in 1966, Norwegian began with one ship, the Sunward, a combination of cruise ship and car ferry that had operated for one season between Southampton and Gibraltar. I'm always amazed at the humble beginnings of popular cruise lines. On December 19th of 1966, the MS Sunward sailed from Miami with 540 passengers on the first 3- and 4-day cruises to be offered year-round by Norwegian Caribbean Line between Miami and the Bahamas. Norwegian began building new ships almost right away. Their second and third ships, the MS Starboard and MS Skyward, were both designed specifically for the new line, and both maintained the capability to carry automobiles. Later, the cargo areas would be converted into cabins, movie theaters, and casinos. Their next two ship orders would be the line's first true cruise ships without that car ferry crossover, beginning with the Southward in 1971. A lot of directional names going on here. It would be another 16 years before they commissioned a new ship build. In the meantime, the line purchased older ships and refitted them. The former Cunard Adventurer was purchased in 1977 and refit with Norwegian's livery and renamed the Sunward II. And in 1979, they purchased the 17-year-old ocean liner, the SS France, and spent $100 million converting her into a cruise ship that they named the SS Norway. In 1987, Norwegian had fallen behind their two closest competitors, Carnival and Royal Caribbean. By comparison, NCL's fleet was comprised of smaller and older ships. In order to compete in the growing cruise market, they ordered their next new build, the Seaward, which had 740 cabins and could accommodate 1,480 passengers. Throughout the 90s, Norwegian continued with its new ship builds, but chose not to compete in size with its competitors, instead choosing to focus on smaller ships that offered more flexibility with itineraries. The MS Dreamward was built in 1992 and the MS Windward was in 1993. However, NCL didn't just depend on these new ship builds. They continued to acquire older ships and refit them for their own purposes. The Westward, Sunward III, and Leeward were all added to their fleet. Norwegian's parent company also purchased several smaller lines like Royal Cruise Line and Majesty Cruise Line, which added several ships to the fleet like the Norwegian Crown, Norwegian Majesty, and Norwegian Dynasty. The company we know today came about after the turn of the century. But before we get there, if you've made it this far, you should definitely consider subscribing to the channel. Did you know that hitting that subscribe button doesn't cost you a thing? It really helps our channel out though, and it lets YouTube know that you like our content and content like ours. Hit that notification bell so YouTube will notify you when new videos drop so you don't miss any future posts. In 2000, Norwegian Cruise Line was sold to Star Cruises, which is a subsidiary of Genting Hong Kong. Under this new ownership, a new concept was introduced with the newly completed ship, the Norwegian Sky. This concept is still popular today. Freestyle cruising. No longer were passengers expected to choose fixed dining times or need to dress up for dinner in the main dining room. Relaxation was the key. Relaxed dining, relaxed attire, relaxed disembarkation, and more. Not only did the acquisition of NCL bring about the much-beloved freestyle cruising, with the backing of Star Cruises, the line now had the funds to replace many of its older and second-hand ships, implementing an accelerated build schedule that allowed the line to debut 4 new ships in just 5 years. These included the Norwegian Star, which was launched in 2001, and the Norwegian Dawn in 2002, still sailing for the line today. The line became a publicly traded company in 2013, allowing it to become a wholly owned subsidiary that we now know today, Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings. Their previous owners traded their stakes in the company for shares in that newly listed company. Forging a path in the cruise industry, NCL pioneered several firsts. They were the first line to purchase a private island for the passengers to enjoy an exclusive experience. Great Stirrup Cay is a 260-acre island in the Bahamas. Originally owned by an oil company, Norwegian purchased it in 1977 and converted it into a destination for cruisers. They were also the first cruise line to offer airfare as part of their booking process. And, as mentioned previously, freestyle cruising was a new concept when first introduced. Now many lines have incorporated this approach in one way or another on their ships as well. Norwegian Cruise Line currently has 19 ships in its fleet, with the Norwegian Sky as its oldest ship. It's also the only mainstream line to have a ship flagged out of the U.S., the Pride of America. NCL has continued to build smaller ships in its main competitors, Carnival and Royal Caribbean, with its newest ship, the Prima, being built in 2022 and the Viva recently launching this month. Prima-class ships may be among the line's largest, but they are significantly smaller than Royal Caribbean's Oasis-class ships and Carnival's XL class. Have you ever sailed on a Norwegian ship? We recently sailed on the Norwegian Breakaway. If you'd like to know my thoughts, check out my Norwegian Breakaway playlist, and then come back for more information designed to help you have an amazing cruise. Have a blessed week, everyone.